So we do record these classes. We'll record each session separately and then post it on our website, which is tradingpub.com. We'll email that out to everybody. Probably it'll be on Monday. It takes us a little time to kind of go through and edit each one where we get it. That way you can kind of pick and choose the sessions you want to watch again or watch for the first time in case you happen to miss it. But we've got a great lineup today. The way the speaker lineup will work, each speaker will go for about 45 or 50 minutes, giving you guys some good education. And the first speaker is going to be Rob Booker. The second speaker will be Andrew Keene. He'll be followed by John Seville. And then John will be followed by Dave Osman of Metastock. So, okay, Leon asked why half day, make it a full day and Sunday too. Leon, actually, we've done that. We have had a 24-hour trade-a-thon. We've got our next one coming up on October 17th. So if you're a glutton for punishment and like live trading, then you can join us the 17th from 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. the next day. But again, I think these Saturday things are a little better for you. You get to learn and hear from these guys and then keep your sanity as well, which is always a plus, sometimes a plus. But guys, we're really appreciative of you guys being here. I'm very excited to have Rob Booker here. And I can't tell you how many people have recommended Rob to me and said, you need to have Rob on at the Trading Pub. And so I'm very excited that we were finally able to line it up. But I think you guys are in for a treat. From what I've heard from people who knows Rob, knows that he is an outstanding trader and a wonderful presenter as well. And so I'm looking forward to hearing Rob for the first time. I know you guys are as well. So Rob, you can go ahead and take it away, start your desktop sharing, and it looks like you've got it. And I'll put a timer up there so you can kind of keep track of the time. Thanks everyone, and I'll turn it over to Rob now.
Everyone, I am ready. I'm guessing that Morgan's okay with me being ready to go. I'm ready to go, and it's going to be awesome. So, can I just confirm that I have 7 hours to talk straight? Is that right, Morgan? 7.5. No, I'll be done in about 40 minutes. All right, so let's share my desktop and give you access to view my monitor. This is going to take a minute. And projection interrupted. All right, here we go. You said you want to do this. Here we go. All right, everybody, I hope you can see my screen. Let's just assume that you can. And I'll let you know who I am. My name is Rob Booker. I am a trader and an author. I run the Traders Podcast, which many of you have probably heard. Some of you might not have, and that's fine too. I also run TFL 365, which is a website for currency traders, Booker Stocks, Futures, and Options, which is Booker SFO, which is for Stocks, Futures, and Options Trader. I'm also actually the owner of and the president of TraderInterviews.com now. Many of you probably don't know that. That was previously run by my friend Tim Berkwin. I'm also the author of Adventures of a Currency Trader and a variety of DVD sets and other types of things for traders. I also ran a currency hedge fund for a few years. I was a commodities trading advisor. All that's a bunch of blah, 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 and nobody really needs to know anything about that or care about that. We're here today for one particular reason. You want to find more trades. Give me a moment to just introduce the topic here at hand. One guy told me, how can I find more deals? Like we were talking about used cars or something. More deals, more trades, more actions. You know, you get the idea. I like picture in my mind like, I don't know, like used cars. Oh, that's the wrong browser window. Like used cars, right? Get a deal on a used car. Like all the sign. There we go. For sale. Like they want more deals. More deals, more trades, more action. Action. That's the siren call that goes out to millions of traders, including myself, every day. Keep moving or die. You know, like we're sharks and we don't smell blood in the water. If we don't smell blood in the water, we want to bite something. We're instigators. We cause the movement. We want the movement. We can't wait for it. Some of the greatest traders in the world, in fact, start trouble just so they can trade off that trouble. Carl Icahn, the billionaire corporate raider, commonly buys 1 to 4% of a company just to get them worried. And he does get them worried. He bites. The blood spills. The other sharks come out. He's an instigator. And just like the rest of us, he's just got more money. You're here because you want to make money. You want to find more trades. That's what I want to do too. We're in the same boat. And of course you've been to webinars before and seminars and conferences, and some guy like me is telling you he invented the candlestick or translated ancient Sanskrit tables to bring you the secrets of trading from the 1st century spice routes. All that's BS, and you know it, and I know it. Just because I sell trading advice on the side doesn't mean I can't trade myself. But it does make it harder to believe, doesn't it? It's just the way it is. So today, I want to tell you something. I'm not going to sell you anything. I'll email you later, or Morgan will, or I'll let you know what I have going on. But today, I just want to grab a wrench, pry open your brain, and pour something special inside. I don't want commerce to get in the way of the education here. I don't want profits to my bank account to get in the way of profits to yours. You see, I'm feeling okay about myself, but I'm here to help you this morning. So I started trading 14 years ago. I was broke and I owed $150,000 to the government and to former clients after failing at business. I traded my way out of that mess. And after my divorce in 2009, I was pretty much broke again. And don't ask why, because it's no one's fault but my own. And I traded my way out of that too. Trading is awesome. You can produce spectacular wealth in the markets, but it's damn hard, and you already know that. Educators will often scream platitudes at you. I guess we do this because we're worried that you might actually do what we teach you to do, and at least we've got those platitudes to fall back on if things don't work out. So today, I think you've heard enough of the let your profits run business and cut off your losers and crap like that. You probably just want to hear me go hardcore on the technical analysis. So that's what we're about to do. I'm going to teach you in a short presentation today that's probably going to last another 30 minutes how to raise your win percentage. What I'm going to tell you is, and this is no exaggeration, the best system that I've ever taught to anyone. I have never traded anything more successfully than what I'm going to talk about today. And it's based on hard and fast and objective rules. And it works. It doesn't break. It just keeps working. And what's more, I'm going to teach you to apply the method in as many markets as I can possibly get to in the time that we have allotted. I mostly trade currencies, but you might trade stocks or you might trade futures or whatever. I think I've got you covered with what we're going to talk about today. Last of all, I implore you to focus. I'm on the verge of begging you to focus. You know what? I am going to beg you to focus. There, I said it. I'm going to beg you to focus on one system and make it your own. Love it. Marry it. Be dedicated to it. Commit to it. With focus, in the markets especially, comes happiness and peace of mind and profits. Traders often think that the system provides the profits. And that's not quite right. It's the focus on the system and its consistent application. That's the true engine of profits. So with that, I'm going to teach you my favorite trading system, and it's the only one I use. It's called Knoxville Divergence. So, friends, welcome to Knoxville. Knoxville Divergence is for you if you want to get more high probability trades and if you want to find more trades every day across a variety of financial instruments. In order to trade Knoxville, you're going to need the RSI, the Relative Strength Index, set to 21. I'm going to put this big up on the slides. Relative Strength Index set to 21. Momentum set to 20. You'll also need a separate chart with the moving average convergence divergence set to 12, 26, and 9. And you'll need the stochastic oscillator set to 70, 10, and if you've got another number in there available, 10. I'll pause here for just a moment. You can write this stuff down. Okay, those are the indicators you're going to need. This is what a Knoxville divergence trade chart looks like on Apple on a 15-minute chart. This is what it looks like when you've got the indicators up, when you've got all these 4 indicators up on the screen, the momentum and the RSI and everything else. And I'm going to teach you right now how to identify Knoxville divergence. And then I'm going to show you a way that we made it easier, and especially if you're a currency trader, made it free for you to plot the Knoxville divergence indicator on your chart. So let's move over to my charts. Can get away from the used car. Here is Apple on the 15-minute chart, and I need to pull up Knoxville White. These charts are tradingview.com charts. They're web-based, and they go with me anywhere I go, and I love them. I love them with all my heart. I love them deeply. And you can get Knoxville Divergence on other charting platforms like eSignal and NinjaTrader and TradeStation and stuff like that. You can even get them on tradingview.com. But let me show you how to plot it if you just don't have any specialized indicators at all. Knoxville Divergence is something that I invented while sitting in a coffee shop. I was driving across the country in April, sleeping over at traders' houses and writing my next book. And I had an overwhelming impression that I needed to add something to my divergence trades to filter them more specifically in order to increase the win percentage, to get a higher probability trade out of the divergence setups that I look at. And what I look for when I look for Knoxville Divergence, I named it Knoxville because I was in Knoxville. What I did was I plot a trend line below price that's falling, as long as over the same time and the same stretch of candles, the momentum indicator is rising. That's divergence. Price is falling, momentum is rising. There is disagreement, there's discord, there's conflict, Democrats, Republicans, whatever. There's discord between the price and the indicator. That's divergence. This is an early warning sign, yet not a guarantee that price is going to move in the opposite direction. Hooray! Hooray for turnarounds. Hooray for price turning around. La 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 la. But that's not enough. The problem is divergence is all over the place. It's all over the joint. It's all over this joint. You can find divergence under your couch cushions. You find all kinds of crap. Divergence is you probably got some divergence in places you haven't ever washed on your body. It's all over the place. And that makes divergence very difficult. Second of all, divergence, in addition to being all over the joint, is counter trend. So my friends, when you trade divergence, you're going against the trend on the time frame chart that you're watching. This, my friends, is dangerous. Many people have died trading against. With Knoxville Divergence, we want to safely trade against the trend on the time frame we're watching and with the trend on a higher time frame chart. Higher, right? That's what we want to do. We're going to trade with the trend on a higher time frame chart, but we're going to take the trade on a lower time frame chart. That's multiple screen analysis. You love it. I know you love that. Let's just pull up a blank chart. For example, let's pull up a 4-hour version of the Euro Canadian. Here we go. Apple. So is Apple trending? No, Apple's not trending. Apple's going sideways. That's not a trend. So we really wouldn't be looking for a Knoxville trade on Apple right now because it's not trending in the joint. We want something that's moving. We want something such as, oh, you know what they are. You know, things like Tesla was a rocket ship until one of their cars exploded. That was terrible. I wanted a Tesla until one of their cars exploded on the road. But anyway, look. That's an upward trend from left to right. What do I use to identify a trend? My eyeballs. 4-hour chart, I used my eyeballs. They work. I got eyes. I'm just going to use those. No special analysis, no funky indicators. Just say, hey, is it moving up? The answer is yes, it is moving up. So let's switch this out, and let's look at Tesla on the 15-minute or the 5-minute instead of Apple. Come on, right? That's what we want to do. That's what you really want. You really want to look at that. And here it is. Here's Tesla. I'm going to show you some Knoxville divergence on Tesla. So we knew it was in an upward trend. Anytime something is in an upward trend, what we want to do is we want to find Knoxville divergence and we want to trade with that trend. Man, I am getting a tingly feeling all over my body because now I know I've got you. We're trading with the trend on a long time frame chart. So that's got to make you overjoyed. You must be feeling the love that I am feeling from you to me. I'm feeling it back to you. Here it is. This is divergence. Price is falling on Tesla and the indicator is rising. That's momentum. Momentum is just simply set to 20. That's all you need. Now, at the bottom of the screen, in addition to this divergence that we see, this divergence, you can see that the RSI, the relative strength index, not once but twice, has gone below 30. It's gone oversold, right? Oversold below 30, so below 30. RSI has gone below 30. That's oversold. It's glorious. It's delicious. It's the best thing ever. All we need is for the relative strength index to go below 30 one time over the stretch of candles or bars, more bars in more places, in the divergence setup. What this tells us is that we don't just have divergence up in the joint, we have downtown, we have oversoldness occurring. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You want that. That's the Knoxville element to this. That is an element of joy and happiness in my heart. It brings so much happiness to me when I see this because I know that we've not just got divergence, but we had divergence when the market went overextended or a little bit kooky. Went a little bit kooky on that. So that's number one. There's only three things that I look for, and that's numero uno. Number one thing I look for is Knoxville divergence. All right, so we have divergence. We have price falling and the indicator rising, and at the same time, over the course of those candles or bars, we have oversold on the relative strength index. That's awesome. That's beautiful. That's super beautiful. Now we need something else. I'm going to make this a lot easier for you in about 5 minutes to see all this business. But before we do that, let's come over here and let's look at number 2. There's a second thing that I need on this setup. So this is back on the 14th of August. We'll scroll back on this 15-minute chart, the 14th of August, and we'll look at the setup. So this is the zone or area of the setup that we were just looking at a moment ago. Hello there, little divergence example. There you are. All right, there. So that was the divergence. That was the setup here. The next thing that we're going to look at, and this blew my mind, is we're going to look for the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence, to rise above the 0 line. At the same time, the stochastic oscillator is oversold. I'm going to repeat that 673 times so that there are no confusions. And remember, Morgan's recording this whole business with expert technology. So you're going to be able to watch this 900 times later, which is awesome. The number 2 thing that I look for is what I call a reversal tab. Reversal tab. A reversal tab occurs when the MACD, moving average convergence divergence, crosses, the MACD line crosses the 0 line coming up, the MACD crossing the 0 line. And at the same darn time, the stochastic oscillator is oversold. This is like borderline not set up, but we're gonna throw this in there. We'll put the indicator on here in a minute to see for reals if that's the deal. So we now know that we have, number 1, Knoxville divergence. Number 2, we have a reversal tab coming up most probably. And number 3, we're going to draw a level of resistance above price, and we're going to buy it above that level of resistance. Alternatively, number 3, we can draw a line across the 60 mark on the RSI, and buy it when we cross the 60 mark. That's number 3. So let me take you through the 3 things that we saw. Number 1, I need Knoxville Divergence, with, especially on stocks, with the longer term trend. Number 2, I need a reversal tab. Number 3, I need a burst upward. That's either RSI goes above 60 or price goes above a level of support or resistance, or below a level of support or resistance. This is what I look for every day. This takes me about 10 seconds per financial instrument. It goes really fast. I'm going to show you how fast it goes in just a moment. But I'm going to leave these words up on the screen for you to look at for a moment. Well, I was going to. Let's bring it back. Bring it back. Come on. There we go. I was going to look at the questions, and then I realized I couldn't look at the questions and show you this stuff at the same time. So I'm not going to look at the questions. I'm just going to answer your questions by ESP. Okay, those are the 3 things that I look for. Now that is a whole mess, right? That's a lot of things to look for. So I built indicators to make it easier, and I give them away. I give them away. You like free stuff, right? I don't give them away for every charting platform, because on some platforms I have worked together with developers, like TradingView.com has them under Rob Booker. But if you use MetaTrader or you use other charting platforms, you'll eventually get a link from me. I'll show you how to do that a little bit later to download these for free. Okay. What I want to tell you is the following. Everything that we just discussed is happening right here on the screen, but I don't have to look at all those indicators. I don't have to look at all that junk. I don't have to look at the RSI. I don't have to look at the MACD. I don't have to look at anything. If I know that Tesla's in an upward trend, I can just go to the 15-minute chart every day on Tesla and look for this. Look for this setup. This is Knoxville. This is a reversal tab. That makes it really, really easy. I can draw a horizontal line above that, and then I can just buy this right away on that break. That is the highest probability trading methodology I have ever used on a financial instrument, ever. It's a 3-step process. It's easier than it probably should be. It takes me hardly any time in the morning to plan those trades, and I'm not hiding anything from you. That's the whole damn thing, and don't you love it? Okay, let's talk about stop losses. Stop losses go always below the absolute low in the Knoxville Divergence setup. So down here at the bottom of my screen, you can see a red line that I drew. That's for the stop loss placement. The stop loss always goes below the lowest low in the setup. How many points lower? 1. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just put it below there. If it gets that close down there, you're stopping out. That's the end of it. Where does the profit target go? Traditionally, I will try to fill a gap for a profit target, or I will try to get up to the next level of resistance. Now, I had all my futures charts on my Mac, so we're looking at a stock chart right now, but this is going to work on futures contracts as well. I'm going to show you some examples from some slides that I had from a while back in just a moment. And then I'm going to take you through the process of how I plan my trades every day so you can see exactly how easy this is, and then you can just replicate it because you're awesome, because you're amazing and beautiful. All right, that's the process. That's it. Stop loss below the lows, a profit target at a recent high of support and resistance, or at the filling of a gap. Either one of those is perfectly fine. You want to trade with that longer term trend, and you want to take profit at a recent high And as you can see here, if you take profit all the way up here, you're looking at an entry around 145 and exit at 158. That's $13.50 profit, and a stop loss of approximately $10. So you have a strong win percentage, and your winners are bigger than your losers. Of course, it's a trend, so shall you want to ride that winner longer? Fine, do whatever you want. Or, and I say this is a better option, the better option is an option. No pun intended. Buy an option. Buy a call. Don't do anything funky. Don't do calendar spreads and all that mumbo jumbo. Iron condors or iron pelicans or platinum chickens or whatever you want to do. Just buy a friggin' call option with a sort of reasonably out of the money strike and give yourself 60 days on a 15-minute chart. And you are going to have a wildly more valuable option, and you're not going to put a lot of money up to do it. If you don't understand options trading, that's because everybody that I ever talked to teaching options is like in their spare time building like nuclear reactors and fusion cells in their garage. I, on the other hand, just like to make money. So on a situation like this, I just go out and I look for a reasonably inexpensive call option with a strike halfway the distance to my profit target with an expiration 30 to 60 days out, and then I buy it. And I don't think about the Gamma Phi Delta Society doing math in their spare time. Not interesting to me. Not interesting. And every time I ever get into complex trading systems, my brain melts, and then I'm not a good father. And when I'm not a good father, then my whole life falls apart. So I want to be nice to my children. When I'm done here, we're going to eat some waffles together, and I'm going to feel happy. You want to see some futures stuff? I'm going to bring some futures up into the joint here. Knoxville works on futures. I trade stocks, futures, and currency, mostly currency, but when I see a really great stock trade, I'll buy an option. And when I see a really great futures trade, I will take that too. High probability trading with Knoxville Divergence is actually easier with futures. Futures is probably the easiest market in the world to trade as long as you don't trade the S&P E-minis. That's how I feel about it. You'll still need the RSI set to 21 and the momentum set to 20. And what works really well is crude oil and gold. They work really great. If you like to trade crude oil and gold, they work great. If you trade CFDs, it works great for trading CFDs. If you want to trade, anything you want to trade, it works spectacularly well. I wonder why that sound was up. All right, crude oil and gold. What works okay is the ES, the YM, the E-minis. They work okay, but they're not, let's just say they're not going to the Hall of Fame anytime soon. These E-minis can really drive me nuts out. All right, let me show you how Knoxville Divergence works on a futures contract. This is crude oil. These are the 5-minute bars. I would strongly recommend 5-minute or 15-minute chart for futures contract. Let's check the time. All right, I'm doing all right on time here. It's good. It's good. It's good. You're going to look for Knoxville Divergence just like we did before. Price is rising, momentum is falling. Over the course of the same period of time, the relative strength index has gone above 70. So in the futures world, it's easier to sell and buy as opposed to the stock market where I only buy. I do not engage in selling in the stock market. I just don't like it. Maybe I'll buy a put a couple times a year. It's just not my thing. It's just not the way I do it. But with the futures contracts, it's liquid enough, and with currencies, it's way liquid enough for me to do that. All right. I draw a divergence where price is rising and momentum is falling. Over the course of the same time, the RSI has gone overbought. And we place a stop loss above the highest high in the divergence setup. And we place an entry to sell below a recent low of support or resistance. Or I could watch for the RSI to fall below 50 or 40 for an entry. Let's look at another example of a full chart. This is crude oil. And this is just a continuous electronic contract. It's actually quite recent. Price is falling. Momentum is rising. That's divergence. Over here to the left, you can see that the RSI dipped below 30. That makes it Knoxville Divergence. And we're going to enter the trade when, in this yellow circle that you see on my chart, when price has gone above the 60 mark on the relative strength index. That's good enough. Now you'll notice something about my futures charts. I have the RSI on my futures charts set to 17. I had to reduce the RSI on the futures charts to improve the high probability nature of Knoxville divergence. And I told you that it was 21. It's not. Okay, let's look at another example. By looking at examples, you learn what's going on. And I need at least 7 minutes to walk through the charts and show you what I do every day. So I want to show you some more examples of futures trades. Here's Knoxville divergence on gold. Price is rising, momentum is falling. Over the course of that time, the RSI went above 70 for overbought. We drew a line underneath price to represent a level of support below which we could sell, and we sold. We could also sell when RSI drops below 40 or even 50. And then we're going to hold on just for some ticks. Once again, usually to a previous high or a low, but in the futures market, like on an S&P contract, I'll just go for 4 to 8 ticks. On gold, I might be just looking for it to drop or rise at $1 or $2, not very much. I'm not looking for a spectacular, gigantic movement in the futures market. You can have a gigantically successful career trading the futures market with Knoxville divergence if you have a conservative profit target. If you're just going for 4 to 8 ticks in the E-minis, or you're going for $1 or $2 in gold, man, you can really kick it big time, all up in the joint. Let's look at one last example here. This is gold again. This is the 15-minute chart. Price is rising, momentum is falling. The RSI is above 70. That's overbought. We have a stop loss above the highs, and then we draw a line across price to enter the trade below that line. Once again, it falls from 13.32 down to 13.23. There's so much room for profit in there. It's just a joke. It's unbelievable. In every one of these instances, your risk to reward ratio is messed up, totally messed up. But your win percentage is gigantically enormous. And I'm not going to have a long conversation about that right now because I want to cover more ground, and I love you guys. And I'm really hoping that we're all still here in the presentation together, and I'm really enjoying my time together with you right now. Let's show you what I do every single day. All right. I trade the currency market mostly, although I do trade other markets. I trade a whole bunch of currency, and I'm willing to trade any one of these zillion currencies that you see on the right side of my screen right here. Let's make sure I pull up my Alpha Forex sorted list. I did. Here we go. I'm going to show you exactly what I do when I wake up in the morning and look at the currency market. I'm going to pretend that right now is a Monday morning, and I'm looking for a trade. I'm going to show you when I find a trade. Oh, there's the trade that already passed. This is the Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. We saw divergence, then a reversal tab, then we drew a level of support. So 1, 2, 3. I knew it was a trade immediately. We sold at 97.33. We broke even at 97.20 or took profit. The final target is 9,700. I bet it opens down there on Sunday, but who knows? That's a trade. Let's look for a new one, though. No trade on here because there's no recent divergence. See how fast I'm throwing crap out? Here's divergence, but there's no reversal tab. So there's no trade. There's divergence here, but there's no reversal tab. I don't want it. I'm not going to trade that. Here we go. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. Divergence, reversal tabs. I now add a level of support right here. We'll be fine. I'm going to add a level of support for a profit target. I'm going to add a horizontal level for the stop loss. And I have a trade planned. I'm going to sell below this support level. I'm going to try to get down to this support level. I'm going to stop out above here, and my trade is planned. I write some numbers in, I publish the chart on the web for my friends, and I move on to the next one. Here's the Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. Divergence up at the top. No reversal tab yet, so I can't plan a trade. Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. You can see divergence at the top. No reversal tab, no trade, I move on. I don't have a favorite currency pair. I don't have something that every day I gotta trade gold, or I gotta trade Apple, or I gotta trade whatever. I trade whatever's set up. Here is the Swiss franc Japanese yen. We have divergence. We're waiting for a bullish reversal tab, and then we're probably going to buy around 107.80 and get out around 108.10. You can see why it's so fun to plan trades every day. This is not a setup anymore. We had divergence, but we had no reversal tab. It's done. Euro dollar, goodbye. Everyone wants to trade the euro dollar. I don't trade it unless it's set up. This is the euro yen. There's no setup here. There's no divergence. I walk away. If you don't have a setup, you walk away. How easy it is. How sweet it is to be loved by divergence. Look at this, Euro CAD. We have divergence. We have no reversal tab. Can't trade it yet, but we will be able to trade it soon. Euro Aussie. We have the divergence. We don't have a reversal tab, so it's not a setup. It's going to be a setup on Monday. Euro Swiss franc. We have divergence. We don't have a reversal tab, so we wait. Euro New Zealand, not set up. Pound Aussie. Waiting for a reversal tab. So almost set up all the way, friends. This is going to be a buy trade sometime next week for me. A buy on the British pound Australian dollar. Pound dollar. Same deal. We just had a big win on this one. Divergence, reversal tab, sold at 61.95, and it dropped precipitously. That was an awesome trade. It is now 200 points lower. That is awesome. There's no new trade set up on that quite yet. Wait, we had one on the pound Canadian too. We had divergence. We had reversal tabs. We had a level of support. We sold at 67.19. It's trading at 64.84. That's like 200 points on that one. We didn't take the full 200 because we're not greedy little grubby little traders. Here is the British pound New Zealand dollar, one of my favorite currency pairs in the whole world. We have divergence down here at the bottom. We're waiting for a reversal tab, and then we can buy that. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. We have divergence. Reversal tabs are pointed in the opposite direction. New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen is not set up anything recently. There's Swiss dollar franc setting up, but no reversal tab. Dollar yen, dollar Canadian, dollar Mexican. Let's go back to dollar Swiss. I'll show you an example. So in the dollar Swiss the other day, we had divergence here. We had a reversal tab here. That's what we're looking for. 1, 2, and then we could draw a level of resistance and buy it above that level of resistance. That's exactly what we do. Look at like a previous example. Here is the British pound New Zealand dollar. There's divergence up here at the top. There's a reversal tab. There's a level of support. There's an entry. That's what a trade looks like. Let's look at another trade example. All right, here we go. Here's divergence. Here are reversal tabs. Here's a level of support. That's a trade underneath that level of support. We're going to trade all the way down to the next level of support. That is a Knoxville divergence trade. Let's look at another example. Oh, here's divergence, but there's no reversal tabs. No trade. Here's divergence right here on the screen. I hope you can see this. Here's a reversal tab. It's awesome. There's a level of resistance. That's beautiful. You buy above that level of resistance. You try to get up to the previous area of resistance. And it gets, let's see, we go from 93.60 to 94.50, so 90 points. And it stops and goes the opposite direction. You could protect yourself with the stop at break even and all those other wonderful things, but that's going to make you a ton of money. All right, here's another one. Here's divergence. Here's reversal tabs. I'm not skipping examples. I'm showing you every example that appears on the charts here. Divergence, reversal tabs, entry above that level of resistance, profit target. I could just do this all day long. This is why I trade this methodology, because it keeps working over and over and over and over again. Here's a loss. I've got to show you a loss, right? Divergence, reversal tab. a buy trade above that level of resistance. It creeps upward, and then it just goes in the opposite direction. That's a bummer. Total bummer. Makes me super sad. All right, I'm ready to look at some questions, but I want to give you some information. You probably want to know how to get these indicators. Now, if you follow me on Twitter at Rob Booker, I will tweet out a link to get these indicators for MetaTrader, for the MetaTrader platform for currencies, for free. I also have the indicator built for TradingView.com, but you have to subscribe through TradingView. And I also have the indicator built for TradeStation, eSignal, Ninja, Trader, and some other platforms. But I'll build it for anything. But those cost a bunch of money to get programmed, so they do cost a very small amount of money. But if you trade currency, I can get you those for free. You can follow me on Twitter. Let's see if I can find some questions. If you've got some questions, I would be happy to answer your questions. Thinkorswim is not ready yet. They're having a really hard time getting it done for Thinkorswim. The momentum indicator is not mandatory if you don't want to use it. You could use the RSI as well. However, you will miss a few trades, Mark. Rob, on the Tesla chart you're sharing, please explain the red down signal that follows the green. It's obvious that price doesn't go down from there. Beautiful question. Okay, so once we're in a trend, we have to ignore the reversal tabs in the opposite direction. That was a great question. So let's say we're in a buy trade on Tesla, and we're just having a grand time, and this is Tesla. Let's go to Tesla 60-minute, 15-minute. So let's say that we're in a buy trade, and Tesla begins to go up, and you see this reversal tab right here. You ignore it because it's in a bullish trend. In fact, Rob, on a bullish stock following a trend, you can actually buy on any bullish reversal tab. It's a separate system that we don't have time to talk about today. But it works great. Thinkorswim should be ready in 1 week, Paul. Marco says, I use your indicator at TradingView. 90% of the time, a divergence appears. Why not enter the trade right there? You can. I'm just filtering it out. You take less trades the way that I talk about it. Bill says, how do you know when to exit? My favorite method of exiting a trade, here's that Tesla example. Rob was asking, what do we do with this thing right here? We don't do anything with it because we're in an upward trend. We just ignore it. My favorite way of exiting a trade is to look for a previous area of support or resistance. Draw a line across it and set my profit target in my trading platform and walk away. I watch the market every morning at 5 a.m. Pacific time, and I stop at 6:30 Pacific time. I then look at the market again at 4 p.m. Pacific time to 4:30 to plan my trades, put them in the system, and walk away. I don't look at the market again during the day at all. I mean, hardly ever. Very rarely. You're very patient, have a great positive attitude. Wonderful. Oh, wow. You're going to be in the class later on today, Rob. That's great. Jamie says these setups work. Trust me. Thanks, Jamie. Does it work on Ninja? Yeah, I have the indicator for Ninja. I haven't released it yet, but I will release it next week. How do I define a reversal tab? You can watch the recording, Kat, because I did answer that already. I drew that on the screen and taught you how a reversal tab is printed. Abe says, I don't use Twitter. Is there another way to get the indicator? Yes. All right, let's talk to you about how you get indicators and stay in touch with me. I'm not here to sell you anything today. But if you go to this website here, tfl365.com, I'll pull that up on the screen here, tfl365.com. I'll give you a moment to write that name down. You don't have to use Twitter. You can just go to tfl365. And I print a currency trade there every day. And then if you're interested, I'm sure Morgan will send out later, or I'll send out later. You know, you'll get an email. You'll know how to get in touch with me. But you can get in touch with me at tfl365.com. You can also go to robbooker.com, and you can plug your email address in, and I will send you information on the indicators and whatever else. Later on today, I am teaching an advanced Knoxville Divergence class on increasing the win percentage to 85% or better. So that's the sort of advertisement that's up there on the screen right now. But next week, I will plop up there for you guys. I will put up there on the screen, download the Knoxville Divergence indicator for free. I will put that up there. It's free for MetaTrader, and then for Ninja and eSignal and TradeStation, it's really inexpensive. We're not talking about a lot of money. I'm talking about less than $50. So it's not about charging you a bunch of money. It's just I got to pay back. I spent about $2,000 to get those built out of my pocket, so I just want to make that money back. I'm sure you understand that. Anyway, so that's you'll see the class up there today, but page for class not working. Really? Page not found. Check that out. I could fix that. I could fix that right now. Thanks for letting me know that. You're a genius. Wouldn't be the first time I broke a page on my website. It's hilarious. I do all of my education stuff that I do really, I just like to talk about the market. I do a pretty bad job of posting the links for it. Check that out. That should work now. All right. Yeah, that's working now. Okay, but on to other things. Let's go through a few more examples of what this looks like in the time that we have together. Here we have divergence. We have a reversal tab. We draw a line across the tops of those candles. We set a profit target at a recent level of resistance. And you can see that we burst through the entry area, and then we go to the next. So what we want to do is find the next. This is just one currency pair, of course. That's not got all the elements that we're looking for. And then we've gone really far back now. So let's go to the Australian dollar. My favorite currency pair to trade with this is the Australian dollar. I love this currency pair. Here is a view of divergence. Here's a reversal tab. Here is a level of support. You get a sell trade below that reversal tab, and then we drop. And then we have a divergence. Then we have a reversal tab. So we're going to move our level down, and we're going to enter the trade on a buy trade above that level. And then we go up, up and away. And then now we're just waiting for divergence and a reversal tab. So every morning I'm just looking for divergence and a reversal tab. Here's an example, divergence and a reversal tab. We draw a level of resistance above those candles. And then that question about where do I find my profit target, I find it right here. So divergence, reversal tab, entry, profit. Super high win percentage. Super duper high win percentage. Like very, very, very reliable win percentage. I don't have anything else to say about that other than this. I have a ton of free things that I would love to send you. It's not all about the money, and really excited that we got a chance to talk here today. Let's see if I have 2 minutes to answer some more questions. Have I tried scaling out? Yes, scaling out is awesome. I do not currently scale out, but scaling out is fantastic. You take a little bit of profit, and then you absolutely can scale out. Absolutely. Um, uh, let's see. Do you take the short trades or wait for the setup on the upside? On stocks, I only buy. On futures and Forex, I also sell. Do I always exit on the same time frame as I enter? Yes, I do. I can't see the divergences that I'm talking about. You can watch the presentation later, Jeff, and I'm sure that we'll be able to get you all squared away as you watch that presentation. Arthur says, do you take the short trades or only the buy trades? I take both sides. Oh, man. I'm so excited to meet you, Robbie. Yeah, that's right, Robbie. I'm in Arizona right now, but I got to get in touch with you. I know exactly who you are now. I remember. Um, where do you get the indicators for MT4? We'll send you an email, and you can put the TradeStation indicator in the radar. And Kat, you'll just have to watch the presentation again. And in the U.S., can you recommend a decent broker where you can trade FX options, futures, and stocks? Thinkorswim or Interactive Brokers. Oh, Saeed got the Knoxville and EA. That's so fantastic. Oh, you got the Nashville one. That is so great. That is so great. Post what time you start? Every day, Eastern time. 8 o'clock Eastern time and 7 p.m. Eastern time. Jeff says, when I go through stuff so fast, it's only any use to people who already know what you're talking about. Hey, Jeff, we recorded this so you can watch it again. I got to go fast or else I won't get through everything that I have for you guys. Please don't complain. My goodness. Stop loss. Sorry. Okay, stops always go below. Stops always go below the lowest low in the setup or above the highest high in the setup. So stop loss is here below the lows, and over here, it's above the highs. And there we go. That's about all the time we have. Thanks for having me over, Morgan. What a great time everybody was.
All right.